Greetings, friends. It is Easter, or almost there. This week we have the Triduum, and then finally Easter. I'm going to focus on Easter and the excitement that there is in Easter. Paul says, if now you have been raised with Christ, seek the things that are above, where Jesus is seated at the right hand of the Father. Seek the things that are above and not the things that are below. For you have died, and your life is hidden in Christ. You have died, but your life is is with Christ. It's hidden with Christ. How is it that when we be died? If we dead, how we're going to have life? That's kind of a paradox. Well, we have to understand what death means in the scriptures. In our culture, we're materialistic. When we think of death, most people think of a cessation of existence because only the material is real. No one ever thought that in the old world, especially in scriptures. In scriptures, and this is what you have to get, death is a diminished existence. When God said to Adam and Eve, you shall not take from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. On the day you do so, you'll surely die. Well, they did take of the tree, and they did die at that very moment. They experienced a diminished existence. Now they were mortals. They lost their glory. They're separated from God. And now they're exiles from the garden. They become death creatures. That's what it means to live a diminished existence. It doesn't mean that you're just going to go and it's all gone and it's lights out. Okay. So, when Paul says that you have died, he's saying you have died to that diminished experience. You have died to all the things that became our lot inherited from Adam. Okay? So, we now live in what we might call a supernatural existence, as opposed to a diminished existence. Okay? What does that look like? Well, it looks like this. It looks like Mary Magdalene on the first day of the week, and we see that she finds an empty tomb instead of death. And then she encounters the risen Christ. When we encounter the risen Christ, nothing's the same anymore. We are in awe of Jesus Christ and what he's done for us. And what's true of Jesus now is true of us. We're living on the same spiritual level with the same spirit that Jesus lived his life. That is what we mean by a spiritual or a supernatural existence. That's how you know. Another way of knowing is what happened to Peter. We all know who Peter was. And at Pentecost, he's just a completely different guy. Here's a fisherman who never went to rabbi school. And he's out there converting the whole world. Do you think he surprised himself? I'm sure he's scratching his head saying, man, from Galilee to Jerusalem to the whole world? Me? Well, I think everyone should have a bit of that experience where they know that they're not operating in their own natural powers, but they're operating in the spiritual powers of Jesus Christ and doing things and saying things and thinking things that you would never experience before. So that's another way you know that we are living in the supernatural life. You got fruit there. Okay? So, dear brothers and sisters, we can so easily fall away from that and seek the things that are below. And we know we're doing that when we are thinking, well, I know that we celebrate Easter and Jesus risen from the dead, but we're really not quite sure. We don't even really not quite sure what will happen to us when we die. And we're basically living by our own natural inclinations, our own natural powers. And quite frankly, we're into, sin still defines a lot of our life. That should not be us. Sin doesn't define our life. Death doesn't define our life. We're dead to all that, and we're now alive to Christ. So, that is the Easter joy we live by. We will see you on Easter, and be there also for the Triduum. God bless you. Bye.